Hello everyone. I'm gonna present today our work titled Enhancing STEM Education with ChatGPT, a case study on developing practice assessments for C programming course. This paper is authored by me, Shireen Ismail, and Janice Lynch, in addition to Dr. Rana El Ghazi. What we're gonna talk about today is how we use ChatGPT to enhance the STEM education through using ChatGPT to generate a practice assessment question for a computer science programming course. We will start with introducing the topic, talking about the motivation for this study, our main objective, the methodology that we followed, presenting some of the results, then we conclude with the future directions. So as you know, ChatGPT as an open AI is a large language model based chatbot released actually in late November 22. So ChatGPT has proven its effectiveness as an assistance tool in the learning process. It has a wide range of functionalities to enhance the learning experiences and instructional support. So actually, it serves as a valuable resource, for example, for virtual tutoring, particularly in areas with scarce human tutors. But at the contrary, we can say that ChatGPT has some disadvantage or drawbacks, like it may lack the domain-specific knowledge and struggle sometimes with the accuracy of the generated data. So the motivation for this study actually comes to us in the use of ChatGPT for course development and assessment. Actually, we looked into, if you can look into this figure, it illustrates how we can use ChatGPT for course development and assessment. Starting by generating course material, assessment items, grading the assessment, generating feedback, personalize the learning content, and exploring and fixing errors. So we looked into the literature and we focus on summarizing the studies that consider ChatGPT use in programming education specifically. And then we define the objectives. We started by we're gonna investigate how ChatGPT can assist educators in generating high quality assessment questions that aligns with the specific course objectives, and the use of ChatGPT to generate practice problems aligned with specific course objectives for a computer science introductory programming course, which is C programming actually, focusing in two types of questions. The first type of question is in the form of short answer questions, SAQ, and the other one is the multiple choice question, MCQ. We design an experiment on the use of ChatGPT to create practice items aligned with these specific objectives that we determine for a C programming course, to determine how effectively ChatGPT could develop the assessment items to help students in exam preparation. We actually selected a subtopic, which is Introduction to Arrays, to look into the specific objectives for this topic and evaluate the questions based on that. So here is the course objectives that guided us to generate the practice items using ChatGPT. So we looked, as I mentioned, into the array, introductory to arrays in C, describing the course objectives like describing the array, explaining and use of the array related terminology, explaining the concept of array bounds, the array indices, demonstrating the ability to access the elements individually within the array using the index, writing correct C code to declare and initialize the arrays, and so on. So based on these 9 course objectives, and given that evaluation factors for evaluating the MCQ questions and the SAQ questions, so actually we considered these 6 evaluation factors for the MCQ. So we looked into each generating assessment question. We looked into these 6 factors. So for any of the generated assessment questions, we looked into how much it aligns with the objectives, clear and concise language, the plausible detractors. We looked into having no negative wording, appropriate level of difficulty, and multiple or incorrect keys. For the SAQ items, we looked into the problem identification and explanation, identification of the required response type, the alignment with the learning outcome, and the language clarity. So based on that, based on the given objectives, course objectives, and given the evaluation factors we determined for MCQ and SAQ, we generated 5 items for MCQ, and we evaluated that based on the evaluation factors. For each item, actually we have 4 options for each generated questions, and their validity, reliability, and fairness evaluated based on the factors that we determined. For SAQ, the same, we generated 3 questions and then evaluated each one based on the given 4 factors. Here is an example of MCQ code where we have an error actually. What happened is that we got an improper answer here, since we have incorrect indices. If you look into the for loop, we can notice that I is less than or equal to 3, which should be I less than 3 only, since the array has 3 elements. So in this case, we have incorrect indices leading to out-of-bound memory access and undefined behavior. So the answer should be, in this case, 60 if we consider I less than 3, while the answer given is 150. So here is a set of MCQ questions generated. As you can notice in this table, since we evaluated five questions for each objective, and then the results is given in this table. And for SAQ questions, the same, we generated 3 questions for each objective, and we looked into how much it satisfies the evaluation factors. So to conclude, we used ChatGPT to develop practice questions for introductory C programming course. It's tailored for a C computer science major. Our findings illustrates how much ChatGPT is valuable for educators given these practice questions that align with predetermined course objectives, but at the same time, some errors can be, noticed, and unexpected outputs can be given for some of the programming questions. So caution should be taken when employing ChatGPT to generate such assessment items to ensure how much it's aligned with the evaluation factors and at the appropriate difficulty level. Future work may include generating more assessment questions in other topics like coding from problem descriptions, crafting pseudocode for algorithmic explanations, and others. We are planning to examine ChatGPT to generate course material, not only assessment questions, and we can assess the students' performance by both the facilitator and ChatGPT before and after the semester. So like a pre-test at the beginning of the semester and post-assessment at the end of the semester. So this will, can give insights about the appropriateness of having ChatGPT for generating practice questions. Thank you.